Hi, this is Martin Drummond with Progressive News. It's Wednesday, September 25th, 2019. Excuse me.
Are happy with all the candidates that have been sort of framing their climate plans around the Green New Deal. And ultimately, we're going to trust the candidates that's the most committed and capable of passing a Green New Deal. Mm-hmm. And so that means laying out an ambitious plan and having the political will to achieve it. Specifically, Bernie, we totally appreciate his plan. It's the most aggressive and comprehensive plan, and it grasps the challenge while recognizing the opportunity we have to transform our economy. But he hasn't committed to abolishing the filibuster. So that's a little challenging there, because how can we,
Okay, so the way to beat the filibuster is to get more than 60%, I think, is what the filibuster is now. Isn't that what they've done with the filibuster? Made it where you have to get a higher percentage. So we're going to have to beat that, and it's just in the Senate, right? I don't know if it's in Congress. Maybe it is, but we're just going to have to beat that, and let's get down to brass tacks. Actually, I don't even know what that means. How about harsh realities? Americans are never going to vote for change as long as they're happy with the way things are. And probably 75% of Americans, even more, are happy enough that they're complacent. They probably won't even come out to vote. They may hate Trump. They may think he's the biggest idiot in the world and that he's a buffoon and, all the things that most of us think about him. And I hate to hurt his feelings. That's the way Americans feel about him, most of them. But unless they think that we're headed for a train wreck, unless they feel strong enough that way, they probably won't even come out and vote. Basically the sky will have to be on fire from climate change before they will vote out the establishment. And that includes establishment Democrats. So who cares about the poor? Who cares about the homeless? Who cares about injustice in this country? Only the small group of people who are suffering from it. I mean, we all suffer from it a little bit, different things that go on. But, this is the kind of injustice I'm talking about. Robocalls. Jesus Christ. Why can't we get rid of these motherfuckers? Anyway. So, where was I? Yeah, I mean, if you... Like, just now I got a robocall, right? I mean, this goes on no matter what we do. We're on the no-call list. We do everything we can to tell them that we don't want them calling here. But, you know, the phone company is part of the establishment, right? They know exactly who's calling. And certainly the government can find out from them who they are and where they are and go get them and put them in jail. Right? They're breaking the law. You know, at first sure warn them that if they keep on doing these things that they'll put them in jail. And when they don't stop, if they don't stop, then go put them in jail. So what I'm saying is almost 100% of Americans have little things that annoy them. And immediately upon having it inflicted upon them, I know they get angry just like me. Right? So angry that they would vote for Bernie Sanders just to stop that robocall. Robocalls are just an example. There's a million little things that poke us with needles every day, right? Then they go on about their lives and they forget about it, and all of a sudden, you know, a candidate who advocates for change becomes less of an issue, and then a candidate who advocates for more of the same, like Trump, you know, he advocates for even more of what we've got. And people say, well, you know what, I definitely don't want things to get worse, and if Bernie Sanders becomes president, how do I know things won't get worse? Trump says that it will, you know. Trump says I'll be paying out the ass for, you know, taxed to death so I can have free medical care. And what kind of medical care will it be? So, you know, you see the logic? And it's all because of ignorance. Because taking care of that person who's sick and doesn't have any way of getting any help, and there's no pulling himself up by the bootstraps, you know, that argument over on the right wing is just a joke. 90% of Americans care about that guy. You know? They care, but then they just get lost in all the details and everything. America's focus needs to be brought on those people. And I'm not saying give them a free ride. I'm saying focus in on them. You know, give them a house and clothes and a shower and deodorant and transportation, and then tell them, you know, you want to keep all this stuff? Well, then we've got a job for you to do. And it's a job that everybody has to do in this country. All Americans who are involved in this process of building our economy, of producing essential goods and services, are going to participate in these jobs equally. Now, it's just that sector, essential goods and services. The whole world can do whatever it wants. You want to build yachts and sell it to rich people. You want to build you know, beach houses for rich people to go to, and okay, so that's all somewhere else, something else. But for the people who like need a basic place to live, a basic transportation, basic clothes, basic, you know, to go to an interview or something, or whatever. we want to raise them up. And for all of us, that's just the issue. So anyway, look, we need to get all Americans on board with this, except for, those few, 1 in a million people who just, well, maybe not 1 in a million because of the way propaganda has adjusted attitudes in this country, but we've got to change those attitudes. It would be 1 in a million if everybody agreed that, yeah, you got to care about those people. But of course, people like Trump have convinced even a lot of Americans who are those people that they shouldn't even care about themselves, because, oh, he's so special. And Hillary's the same way. It's just she pretends not to be. They all are. All the rich people. Except for a few who, don't seem to care about themselves, care about other people. But we've got to convince all the rest of the people in this country, the vast majority, to vote for doing something for those people. The people who've fallen through the cracks. We have to make them care. We've got to get them to boycott the mainstream media. They've been propagandized to death. We need to move them to social media. Like, I was going to say, they could watch my program, they could watch this video, but I don't know if I want that pressure. Seriously though, they can watch my video, but I can't promise I'm going to be around all the time. I won't be tied down. I care, but you're not going to turn this into a job for me. Okay, that's another thing. But we have to get them to boycott MSM. Seriously. People who turn on the TV, and since they've come up with this digital television and everybody's switching over to digital television to save them money of having to pay a cable bill. Now, people are back to watching NBC, ABC, CBS. As a matter of fact, those stations have 5 channels, 6 channels. They're becoming a big thing again. We have to get Americans to boycott broadcast TV. They can buy a little DVR and just record their programs and take the commercials out even. But boycott the mindless chatter, I just leave my TV on all day. You don't think that stuff going in the background influences you? It's like what we used to talk about in the 60s and the 70s, subliminal advertising. That picture that suddenly pops up and goes away? It's eating away at your brain, man. I don't even turn my TV on. I have a smart TV, and when I press that button, all it does is go to YouTube, and it just does channels like this, and I even turn the sound down if they make me watch a commercial. Because goddamn, man, the YouTube commercials are ridiculous. Some of them are 15, 20 minutes long. They're infomercials. YouTube should at least give you an option to where you can limit the time that they're on and turn off the volume. Eventually we'll get programs that can do that for us, but Anyway, my point is boycott the establishment media, wherever it is, whatever it is. You know, watch me, watch Kyle, watch Mike. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Mike Figueredo, Kyle Kalinsky, the Secular Report, the Humanist Report. I don't know what they're called exactly. Jimmy Dore. There's a bunch of them. You know, watch them. And, you know, get the stories about how the capitalist establishment fails your fellow Americans and insist that something's done. This is Martin Drummond for Progressive News. Thanks for watching.